Welcome to Roommate Economics. In this short video, I'm going to go through some of the resources that are available to you that we will utilize throughout the semester. YouTube is where we host videos, and if you go to my YouTube channel, which is Matt Hartung, and you can go to the playlist for economics, and you'll see a variety of videos here that we'll access throughout the semester. One of the other resources that we have that we use quite a bit is Quizlet. And once again, we have folders created for economics here at the Quizlet site. And for those of you that have not used Quizlet before, it's largely flashcards with a lot of resources associated with those flashcards, which includes different ways to view the cards. You can make tests out of the cards, play some games with them, and we'll begin our adventure in Chapter 1, and most chapters are made up of 3 sections. And so we begin with, like in this example here, 16 terms in Chapter 1-1. And the first place you generally should start is with flashcards.
Resources required to produce
and
the
then
things
it comes
we would
up,
like
and
to
you can
have.
set these to either begin with the definition, or you can show both sides if you want to read the answers and the definitions, or you can start with the term. Generally, the easiest place to start is with the definition and then see if you can identify the correct term. Resources required to produce the things we would like to have. You click the card to see the answer. That would be the factors of production in this case. Ready to move on, you click the arrow on to the next card. Once you've studied those, there's different ways to practice. You can do some, here you can do some typing. You can type in the answer. It'll give you your results. You could practice some spelling. This is really nice here. You can create some tests, different types of tests, written tests, matching, multiple choice. You can turn these on and off, however you want to do it. Let's try a multiple choice. Start with the definition. Pick however many terms you would like to have. Create a new test. And then you would go through here and see if you can answer some of these. For example, scarcity would be the fundamental economic problem. And so you go through, and I'll just select some of these real quick. Fast as I can. Number 5, land capital, labor entrepreneurs, factors of production, financial capital. Process of creating goods and services is production, I believe. Study of how people try to satisfy. Careful and relative, let's see, that would be economics. There's your definition of economics. In case you were wondering what economics is all about, the study of how people try to satisfy what appears to be seemingly unlimited and competing wants through the careful use of relatively scarce resources. And so we're going to be talking about that here in the first 2 weeks, about what in the world is economics all about. Those are your 3 basic questions: what to produce, how to produce it, and for whom to produce it. Resources required to produce the things we would like to have. Scarcity, capital, people with all their efforts, skills, and abilities is labor, and a risk taker is an entrepreneur. Then you would check your answers, and that looks like I got a B+, and 88%. And then you can go back through and see the ones you missed. And we got that one, and then you can read those again, and then you can practice. And so that's a great way to break down the chapter and learn the vocabulary. So that's Quizlet. Oh, and then there's games. You can play these games. It's a lot of fun, too. And Gravity is a new game with Quizlet that we have access to. So that's Quizlet. Great program. Highly recommend that you create that account. You'll definitely want to come to mine. My particular account is mhartung2292, and that's how you will find me at the Quizlet site. It won't cost you anything, and you can certainly create your own. I have the upgraded version, which is the teacher version, which keeps track of your progress, so I can go in there and see when you've been accessing it and what you've been accomplishing. Another program that we'll be using is known as Edpuzzle. And within Edpuzzle, we have an economics class, and I'll be giving you a code so that you can get signed up for that. And Edpuzzle allows us to grab videos from YouTube and then add additional content to it in the form of discussion questions, test questions, open-ended questions. And so I'll give you an example here of one that we used in Chapter 4, I believe. Grabbed this off of YouTube, and you would go through, see the video, and play it. I'll turn that down. And this particular one, I'm allowing some skipping to occur. And so as you go through this, you can see these little question marks here. And so something is going to happen, some type of an event, test question, something. So let's see what happens here. So this person is looking through at different types of products that happen to be, in this case, what are known as substitutes. And so here's a test question that pops up for you. She is selecting the less expensive chips because the two brands of chips are known as inferior substitutes, complements. Answer would be substitutes. It's going to correct your answer. You submit that, and then continue, and then the video continues in a similar fashion until it gets to the next question. Let's see what this one is. We'll take a look at one more. She is buying the cheese to go with the chips, which means that the cheese dip is a substitute for the chips, complement to the chips. It is a complement. Submit your answer. And then this program will keep track of that, and once again, I'll be able to look at it and see how you're doing with your progress. And so the thing that's nice about this is that you can use this on a multitude of devices. Don't have to be in the classroom to complete it. And so a lot of resources that are available on YouTube. And so this allows us to use those resources, but then dial in exactly which part of a particular video we want to use. So that is Ed Puzzle. So we've got YouTube, Quizlet, Ed Puzzle, and then the central location for all of these resources that we will be using is a program known as Schoology. And so here's your economics for spring 2016, and here are the sections or chapters that we're going to be doing along with the resources that are involved. And so, for example, we'll come in here to Chapter 1, and some of the resources that we have loaded already. You've got a note guide that we'll have for each section that you can use, especially for those of you who are an avid, and you can see the format of this kind of Cornell note-taking guide. And so we'll use this for our class discussions where you can add additional questions or additional information that we discuss. Or as you read the textbook and you want to add something to your notes, you can do that. Simply download it. Save it to your own Dropbox, and you can write in this, type in it, do whatever you want. And then we've got links. Here's a link to Quizlet. So if you did not want to go directly to the Quizlet site through the webpage, you can come through Schoology and just simply click on that resource, and it'll open it up for you in another window and take you right to the Quizlet that we will be using for that particular section. So in class, we'll be going through that, and I'll be giving you that class code, and we'll get everybody signed up for all of these resources that we will be using during this particular semester of economics. I'm looking forward to it. You're going to learn a lot of information and some skills that will help you to become better decision makers as you move on beyond high school.